in a moment. So you can use connected speech in a moment. In a moment, like in a moment, like in one word. So it's called as connected speech. Hello everyone! Welcome to my video. I'm Suprayogi, the English lecturer from Universitas Teknokrat Indonesia. In today's editions, I'm going to talk about the materials in English Phonetics and Phonology course entitled VOPro, Voice Over Project for Phonetics class. So, the objective of this meeting and this video is that, number one, students are able to explain the voiceover as the language skills in digital industry. Number two, students are able to master the steps and principles of having voice-over activity on the aspects of phonological and also technical skills. And number three, students are able to create voice-over portfolio in English. So, to begin with, the activity of voiceover in English phonetics class or in a pronunciation class is actually based on the research conducted by me, myself, and my partner, Budi Eko Pranoto. And this research is fully funded by the governments under the scheme of Penelitian Dosen Pemula. Then, the outcomes of this research, one of them is the article published in Conference of Applied Linguistics in Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia entitled Students' Perspective Toward the News Voiceover Activity in Pronunciation Class. And this video is expected to be the materials proposed for hak kekayaan intellectuals. So to begin with, everyone, what is actually voiceover? So voiceover is the activity of telling the informations without the person exist in the video. So we only see, we only hear the sounds of a voiceover artist toward a advertisement, or maybe in the context of dubbing activity in a cartoon movie or in a translated movie. Now, why voiceover become a trend, especially now in post-COVID-19 pandemics? People now are having lots of activities at home to create a video, to create a content, upload it on YouTube. And after that, this trend keeps increasing, and also the trends also in voiceover artists also increasing, since the demand of the video that can be enjoyed by the viewers of the YouTube, for example, or Instagrams, or maybe TikTok is also increasing from around the world. And that is why the voiceover activity is something that becomes one point to be mastered by English literature students, especially in this digital era. Now, to begin with, what is actually voiceover and what is the best sample of it from the Indonesian versions? Let's take a look at the video entitled The Wonderland Indonesia by Alfie Ref featuring Novia Bahmin. Let's take a look at the video.
Indonesia is the most beautiful land in the universe. The land where we were born. The nation where we grew up. So many colors that live together in peace. With a million timeless treasures. With an abundance of natural wealth. Indonesia is not just wonderful. Indonesia is a wonderland.
Alright, so what do you think of the video? It is great, right? So this is one of the samples how voiceover work in the voice industry. So maybe in other contexts, you will get familiar with singing and also acting. But now it is the activity where your voice is actually the source of the talents. Not your face, not your appearance. Now, how this is actually relatable to the context of English literature students. Students in English department, especially English literature, learns more about phonetics and phonology, the study of the speech sound. And now let's take a look at the English phonetics and phonology in a very practical level on how we are able to utilize all the knowledge and also the theories and practices that we have learned during the courses of phonetic phonology into the practice. So we as an English as foreign learners or English as English as a second language learners or English as foreign language learners, we are not as perfect as the native one. But luckily, Indonesian tongue is more flexible than others. So there is also great opportunity that the voiceover activity in English also conducted by Indonesian. That is why this is like a great chance and field for you to explore more. So now let's talk about the voiceover projects. So voiceover projects in this context is the activity of creating portfolio of your voice to speak up in a certain script or narrations in English using the theory of phonetics and phonology. So it is expected that in the end, when later you graduate from this university or this English language study program, you'll be able to execute a voiceover challenge and also take from several voiceover jobs that offered in front of you because you have got to practice and you know the strategy. From the video that we have watched from the Indonesia Wonderland, we see that being voiceover artist, you should be able to have number one, excellent English pronunciation. Number two is that your emotions that you put based on the content that is expected. So that's two key points that we're going to learn one by one. So in these voiceover projects, you're expected to create a portfolio, and after this, I will tell you the steps from the beginning until the end. So let's take a look at the first step. The first step is that for the practice of the voiceover, select the materials. So there are actually two. Number one is select the videos. In this contact, you can select the tourism video or non-tourism video with the durations of 1 until 2 minutes. And after that, don't forget to take a note the sources. Where did you take it? Number two is that also select the back sound, the free back sound with no copyrights to help you later to adjust the video. Okay, right. So that's actually the two steps that you have already prepared. So here's, for example, the sources that I've taken from Indonesia.travel. So I take the video, the script entitled Ujung Kulon National Park. So it's about one paragraph. So you can see in the screen, like situated about 300 kilometers, blah, 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 until the special wildlife. So you take the video and copy that into the Microsoft Word documents because you're going to do the second step. The second step that you are going to do is that doing phonetic transcriptions. So what I suggest is that you prepare one line for the script and the next line is the phonetics transcriptions. So you can see exactly how each word is pronounced. So you have to write down the transcriptions and also you can copy that from the online dictionary. So the step for having a phonetic transcriptions, number one is that go to, for example, Cambridge Dictionary and type the word. For example, here you can type the word situated or about, and after that, copy that. So after this, you can have, let's say, maybe 4 to 5 pages of phonetic transcription. Don't forget to put space from one line to the next line, so it is easier for you for the practice of the reading. Okay, so in these phonetic transcriptions, don't forget to turn on the sound symbol so that you can listen the correct pronunciation, and after that, practice it one by one. Now, step 3 is that practice the pronunciations. So after you copy all the phonetic transcriptions, now copy that in a table like this one. So I give you the example of the word and transcriptions column, and then practice 1, 2, and 3. It is expected that after third practice, you can have perfect pronunciation and better pronunciation than used to be. Okay, so number 1 is the number of word. Number 2 is the word itself. Number 3 is the transcriptions, and the next column is practice 1, 2, and 3. So in this practice, write down the dates of the practice and also add who is the reviewer or the pronunciation checker. So your friends will help you to check the pronunciations. Okay? Don't rely on yourself. Other people will help you to make your pronunciation better. Now let's move to the step number 4. Number 4 is the practice of the weak form and connected speech. What is actually weak form and what is actually connected speech? Weak form is actually a syllable sounds that become unstressed, and it is in the context of connected speech. For example, the aspect that you usually unstress is the articles, the prepositions, the auxiliary, and be. For example, the article of a, an, and the, and then preposition of from, to, but, and etc. So in strong form, the word from is pronounced from, but in the weak form is pronounced from. So I come from Bandung, not I come from Bandung. Also, the word to is pronounced to in a strong form and to in a weak form. So instead of saying to talk, you should say I want to talk. I want to talk. To. Right, so you can check later how the stress and unstress is actually discussed in the previous materials also. And then you can also have the auxiliary and also to be. So in this practice, copy all the text that you have got from step 1 and use dash to indicate the weak form. So for example, here I give you the example of from here. So put dash on it. Okay. Number 2 is the connected speech. Connected speech is a spoken language in a continuous sequence as in normal conversations. So for example, the groups that can be used for connected speech is the group of the noun phrase and also the prepositional phrase. So in this practice, use underline to indicate the connected speech. For example, there is a group word of are noun. So you can say are nouns. So it's into one. And then, for example, there is a phrase in a moment. So you can use connected speech in a moment. In a moment, like in a moment, like in one word. So it's called as connected speech. Okay, so here's the example, some parts of the articles that I've identified for the connected speech and also the weak form. For example, you can identify here that we have the word about, and then from, and then or, and then what else? Of, across, and the, after the, and then a group of connected speech, for example, about 300 kilometer in one connected speech. And then from the capital city, and then Ujung Kulon National Park. We cannot say Ujung Kulon National Park. No, we cannot say that. It's one connected speech. Ujung Kulon National Park. Okay? And then the next one, I give you example of, this is the long one. A near sacred ancient creature. We cannot say a near sacred ancient creature. In a voiceover, you should say a near sacred ancient creatures. So you make it into one connected speech. So here in the context, it helps you. You have practice on the pronunciations. Then number 2, you have practice on the strong form and the weak form. And number 3, you also learn to practice in a connected speech so that the idea and the message can deliver well. Okay? Now, to make sure that you have practice, you can make a table like this one. For the practice documentation, we have the columns of the practice and date, and then the reviewer, and also the feedbacks. For example, I give you the context of practice 1, conducted on Saturday, 17th of September, 2021 at 9 to 10 a.m. The reviewer is Shafina or any name of your friends. And after that, the feedback is that please speak louder with clarity. Maybe you can only say, in a moment, ujung kulon, blah, blah, blah. No, it's not really selling. So you should speak up confidently, clearly, and also right to the points. And then second comment said work on some phrases. So that's the things that you can do. For example, you're wrong in grouping some parts. Your friends can help you to do this. Do this until 3 times. Okay, step 5 is recording process. So you can use mobile phones or any recording equipments, the advanced one. So it's available in any marketplace if you are able or afford to buy that one. So the tips from me is that you can record in studio or record under the blankets, the safe one. The number 3, record in any silent place, and don't forget to talk to your family members or friends that you actually have the recording activity, so they cannot do chit chat louder or laugh out loud so that it disturb your activity. Okay, right. In the editing process, you can use some application. For example, Audacity applications, Filmora applications, Adobe Auditions application. You can use which one is comfortable for you. And it's actually for free, and you can also pay for the premium one. And then things to do is that number 1, replace the voice of the voiceover artist with your own voice. Okay. Number 2 is that add the back sound from the free one that I have stated earlier, and make sure that your voice is louder than the back sound, not the back sound is louder than your voice. Okay. And number 3 is that do add the credit in the end of the video. Mention the sources of the video, mention the sources of the back sound, mention the pictures if you have any, and mention the purpose of making video, that this is actually the portfolio of phonetics class. And also put your name in the end of the video. Okay, so this is the sample projects of the previous classes that I've already conducted. So the talent is Mela Anggraini from English Literatures 2016. And let's play the video.
On the westernmost tip of the islands of Flores sit the towns of Labuan Bajo. It lies peacefully, with many wonders waiting for you to explore. Labuan Bajo was only a small fishing site, but flourished to become the gateway to many exotic destinations in East Nusa Tenggara. The extraordinary interest among travelers lies in Komodo dragons, or locally called Ora. It is a valuable alluring factor, showcasing its superb national park. The Komodo National Park was listed as UNESCO's World Heritage Site in 1991. Both on land and on the water, it is home to fascinating wildlife. The park consists of Komodo Islands, Rinca Islands, Pater Islands, and numerous smaller islands around. Labuan Bajo is known as the City of Sunset. You can find plenty of out of this world scenic views of the spectacular sky. There are some interesting destinations that you can discover inside the city. One of them is Mirror Cave. It is located only 4 kilometers away from Labuan Bajo. It is said that Dutch archaeologist Theodor Varkopens, who believes Labuan Bajo was once located underwater, founded this cave in 1951.
Alright, voiceover activity is challenging. and it's fun because it explore your talent, it explore your pronunciation. The good students of English literature should be maximum in exploring their pronunciation ability because your voice is your talent, your voice is your capital for your future career. Thank you and see you in the next video.
Terima kasih sudah menyaksikan video pembelajaran ini. Jangan lupa like, komen, dan subscribe, serta nyalakan tanda loncengnya agar kalian tidak ketinggalan informasi update lainnya. I hate Spada.